In the original game on Corneria, if we shoot at the trees, they'll just disappear in a simple explosion.
Enemy robot, dead ahead.
In the remake, the trees will catch fire, and we can end up causing a wildfire. We can also see the smoke rising from the trees. In Star Fox 64, the killer bees shoot a ring-shaped laser made of colorful spheres that emits a distinctive high-pitched sound.
You want a piece of me?
In the remake, the rainbow pattern of the laser is maintained, but it's much more subtle. The original iconic sound effect has been replaced by a far more generic metallic whistle.
You're making a big mistake, fellas!
In Sector X, just after the checkpoint, there's a fork in the path. We can go left or right, but there are two secret passages leading to the center. If we go right, there's a hole high up in the wall, and if we pass through it, we'll encounter 3 enemies that release supply rings.
Interceptor system, dead ahead.
If we're on the left, we can go through a passage down below, and we'll eventually find a laser upgrade. On Nintendo 64, there's no need to take advantage of the openings. We can actually clip right through the walls.
I can't wait to see this secret weapon! I'll attack from the outside!
On Switch 2, the walls have solid collisions, so we are forced to use the intended openings to reach the hidden areas.
Stretch my wings.
In Star Fox 64, we can disable the crosshair, but the red reticle for the lock-on will still be visible while charging a laser shot.
Corneria City now. This is horrible.
In the remake, after setting the reticle to off, the crosshair will always be disabled, leaving the audio cue as the only indicator that the lock-on is active.
We're entering Corneria City now. Andros sure has trashed this place.
In the Nintendo 64 version, the Arwing model is the same for each character. The models feature simple low-definition textures. On the front, near the cockpit, there's a small yellow arrow, a typical marking on fighter jets. On the sides of the nose, there are 2 Star Fox insignias with a rough scribble on top that is meant to read Star Fox. On the ship's hull, we can also see the Star Fox team emblem, and here's the original texture for the engine on the back. The texture inside the cockpit is hard to make out in-game, but it's actually meant to represent Fox's arms on the steering wheel. Star Fox for Switch 2 takes advantage of modern HD graphics to differentiate the Arwings, giving each team member a customized ship with unique decals. For instance, Falco decorated the wings of his Arwing with blue bird wings. And on its nose he printed "Free as a bird". The characters have their paw prints stamped on one side of their ships. Peppy also has some symbols next to his paw. They are kill markings representing the targets he defeated over his career. The first 4 symbols are unknown, while the other 9 are Andros army crests. In the prologue cutscene in this specific frame, we can see that only the first 4 symbols are depicted on Peppy's ship. They could represent battles fought by Peppy alongside James McCloud in the past, perhaps against Wolf. In the prologue, for a very brief moment, we can also catch a glimpse of Pigma's personal touch on his Arwing. The text on the side reads, "I love space dollars." Inside the cockpit, which is lit by a custom purple light, a monitor displays Andros' emblem, symbolizing Pigma's alliance with him. Some decals are shared by every Arwing. This one reads "Caution Super FX Technology", an obvious reference to the Super FX chip used for the original Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. NPPG refers to the Nintendo Power Player's Guide for Star Fox 64, and the numeric code is its UPC, which can be found on the back cover of the guide. Complete instructions might refer to the blueprint on page 17, where some technical specifications for the Arwing are listed. The Super FX technology is mentioned for the engine, which is called NTD FX1. Under armament, we can see that the laser cannon is called TNB-H1. In the opening cutscene for the Sector X mission, we can see that there is text on the laser cannon. It reads H1 cannon, consistent with the blueprint in the guide but omitting the TNB prefix. There's also a red label, which is so small that it almost looks like a Nintendo 64 texture. The text is hard to make out but reads, "Contains high-intensity directed energy laser weapon. Do not stare into beam." On top of the Arwing's noses, there's the same yellow arrow as in the Nintendo 64 version, but in the remake we can also see the number 64 written in red. This is not an arbitrary addition or a simple reference to Star Fox 64. This was meant to be there from the start. Here's the PAL version of Star Fox 64 from our personal collection, which is called Lylat Wars and came in a big box containing the Rumble pack. Since the box is quite big, the cover artwork is a high-resolution picture and the details of the Arwing are clearly visible. The Nintendo 64 is not able to render these details in-game, but the number 64 was actually supposed to be depicted inside the yellow arrow in the original game as well. This artwork also proves that the scribble on top of the Star Fox insignia does indeed read Star Fox.